it, but yes, we got Fireball in the house. We got more Fireball again. Don't worry about it, boys. But I got a quick little story to tell you before we get into the baits that worked and those that didn't. Yesterday, we had one get destroyed. We had other ones that typically work, and we're probably going to take a break because it is hot, and it's only going to be hotter this weekend coming up. So we might take a weekend off from fishing. But we got an AliExpress deal to unbox, also a few new baits, and a tackle warehouse order is on the way. It should be here this week for sure, probably tomorrow or the next day. But real quick, this is for Brew Tank, and those of you that follow the channel, you guys know I've talked about eating Chipotle, right? I literally, when everybody was away on vacation, out of 6 nights, I ate Chipotle 4 different nights. I do like Chipotle. The new Chipotle honey chicken is pretty good. The normal chicken is horrible. The regular chicken, I cannot stand it's just, I don't like it. But that's not what I'm talking about. So let me get over this little rant, and then we'll go to these baits. Because if you guys remember right a while back, they even had the CEO of Chipotle come on and do a thing. Oh no, we don't charge more if you want extra corn or extra sour cream or whatever. But yes, they do. So here's the deal. I usually always, and if you guys know Chipotle, it just depends on which one you go to and who's working the deal. So they just opened a new Chipotle, like literally, here's where I live. The one we used to have to drive to is up over here about twice as far as where there's one right here now. This one is horrible. Ever since it's opened up, I keep trying to go to it because it's real close. They are just inconsistent, horrible staff. They're not trained right. Like you'll get one of them like putting too much stuff on, puts like too much salsa and just like drowns out everything else. I mean, so I have to, if I go to that one, we just started now, we would go to this one. So tonight I'm like, well, let's just try it. Let's go to that one. So we go to this one. Normally you got to tell them like, don't put, I want mild, but don't put a lot of the juice because they just kind of like scoop it so fast. And if it's real runny, it like coats all the right. You guys know the deal. So we get there. Okay. And if you guys know how as their little pans start to run out of stuff, they'll get like a scoop. And they don't really get a scoop of it, right? They're just trying to like put enough of what would equal a scoop on. So I've talked about it going up there and showing you guys what I get on my Chipotle bowl. So in case I never eat Chipotle again, let me just give you a rundown what I normally do get. So I just let them put the rice because you can't add for extra rice because the minute if you say extra rice, they started charging 100% for that now. So if they put on, they're supposed to put 2 scoops of rice. And if you want beans, they put on a scoop of beans. If you don't want beans, they don't take any money off. You still pay full price for that burrito or burrito bowl, but I get a bowl. So I get pinto beans. That part was fine. I got the Chipotle honey chicken. The guy put on a scoop of that. You get a scoop of that. He put that on. That looked fine. It was actually probably a touch better than they normally do because some of them want to do the little shake. Some of them, like Alabama shake your rice and put on like 2 little flimsy scoops. They Alabama shake everything off that deal. So this guy didn't do that. So that part was good. Then they always hand it down to somebody else. And this girl, and I said, I want mild, but try not to put too much juice in. So they do the shake again, and she shook it down to about, I don't know which, okay, she put on mild, and I always get like mild and then half a medium. So mild, half a medium, okay. I said, and corn. So the corn is about empty. So she's scooping down, and she put 2 scoops of not even like, I don't think each one was a half a scoop. And like, I need some more corn because they had another corn ready. Can you just switch it out and give me a scoop of corn? Well, I have to charge you for the 3rd scoop. I go, ma'am, I'm waiting for the 1st scoop because literally I'm waiting for the 1st scoop. You haven't even put that much on there. So the lady next to her at the register is like, well, that looks like extra. I go, I don't know what it looks like, but it is not what I said, you know what? And they'd already made Olivia's, right? She didn't get beans. They're not going to take money off for that. She didn't get beans on hers. They're going to charge me for what would be equivalent to possibly maybe 2 scoops of corn. I said, you know what? We're out. I give up on this Chipotle. Like, it is too complicated to try to come in this one and just get a freaking burrito bowl made the way you want it. Like, if she would have put on 1 full scoop, another full scoop, and then the 3rd one, if I would have wanted more, which I wouldn't have, if she'd have just put on 2 scoops of corn, I'd have been fine. Then I get sour cream and cheese, and then I'm done. So anyway, that's my rant. I'm done. That Chipotle over here, I'm never, and you guys can take this to the bank, I'm never going to that one ever again in my life. That one's out. I'll never go to that one. I might still go to this one. I don't know yet. So as I go on, I know it's a rant, but then I'm going to talk about this because I boycotted Wendy's, and I know it's no big deal. It's one person, right? But the Wendy's in Raytown had horrible customer service. I didn't go to Wendy's for 15 years. I just didn't. I'm like, that one Wendy's did it for me. Their food isn't that great in the first place. It's okay. So I know everybody wants to know a list of who Charlie has boycotted. Well, so far it's just this Chipotle. I've kind of since then, there's a Wendy's up here by the house. It's not horrible, but honestly, fast food is so expensive nowadays. It's junk. McDonald's has gone off the rails with their ridiculous. They brought the Crunch Wrap back. Like, yeah, they added more money to it, and it sucks. They don't even put that much ranch on it. The kids, they like them. So they got one the other day, or some the other day, and I'm like, yeah, we need to stop going to McDonald's too. You guys, when you're dealing with the kids, they want McDonald's, and I'm like, no, McDonald's is horrible. It was always horrible, but it used to be affordable, so we would feed the kids McDonald's. But McDonald's is. You can't go there. I think they do still have a $5 meal. It's like a little cheeseburger, 4-piece McNugget, and fry for like $5. But don't go to McDonald's, guys. Don't go to McDonald's. Have you ever seen Super Size Me? Watch that deal. So, okay. It was only a 6-minute rant. Let's talk about the baits that didn't work, and then we're going to open this up. So let me make sure. Hang on. I got to grab the rod that was working. I left the bait on it. 1 minute. Let me find it. So in this package I'm getting ready to unbox will be more of these hooks, but I want to talk about the hooks real quick. If you guys haven't caught on about on the live, some of the actual fishing footage. That hook, that's a 3/0. Now I've got a 1/0 that I'm getting ready to unbox, but not necessarily this color, but that's kind of worked the, if I have one in here. Yeah, this is a mid-sized brush hog, or a baby brush hog, but a brush hog in June bug has seemed to be a pretty good, like you can kind of go to as either a backup bait or just start fishing it regularly. But those hooks I've been getting from AliExpress, they're pretty good. So nothing was really working yesterday. Yesterday, the started out 84 and ended up being 87-degree water temps, and it was just tough. So I tried the big blade, could not even get, that thing never even got hit. I tried some jigs that never even got hit. No jig bite was really going. Like I said, that I caught a few on the baby brush hogs, and we're going to talk about chatterbaits here in a minute. But they weren't even really getting hit. So as you can see, I was kind of going through some of the June bug. Nothing on, no hard baits. Hard baits were out. I don't know why. I threw quite a bit. Couldn't even get anything on a whopper plopper. No whopper plopper hits. Oh my goodness. So none of that was working. I think I did manage one on this jig. So that's the one that I tried when I was copying this jig before I tracked them down, the mop jigs from Buckeye, which they're pretty good. I think there's too much brown in it, so I'm going to actually rip some of that brown out. Because the one I made is actually, it's just a better jig. I feel more, I have more confidence in it. And I had that Rage Menace green pumpkin, purple and gold. It did work. I didn't fish it a lot. I tried those and those weren't working, so I resorted to this, and we did manage one more fish, and now I was just getting hot, so I decided to go. But when I first got there, we'll talk about chatterbaits in a minute. Mainly the thunder crickets. We're going to talk about this dude. We're going to talk about how the best bait that was working is also the worst bait ever made, maybe. So let me try to get these out of here. Like I said, none of the hard baits were really doing anything. And so far, none of our, I think I caught one fish using that on the back of the I just tried a crazy oddball color. That didn't work at all. Tried a spinnerbait briefly. Spinnerbait was not spinnerbaiting. Never even got hit. Tried this guy just for a second. No go. Two color. I think the color was too bright. And I did catch. I think I caught one, and then I lost it. I got hung up and couldn't get down to get it out. But if you guys remember at that peanut butter and jelly colored like firetail crank, like a wiggle wart, we lost that soldier. He's gone. But I think I did manage to catch one on it. So Master Splinter is toast. It never even got a hit. Couldn't even get a hit with that. I tried this originally on, it's just too bright. Once you get out in the sun, that color of Z-Man bait is just way too bright, in my opinion. But none of that stuff was really working. Black buzzbait, I couldn't get hit on either. They're being very finicky. Of course, the only bait that did most of the damage and was more or less before the storm looked like it may come, it was overcast. Once the skies cleared enough, the sun popped out, everything kind of shut down. But I was catching them on this one, and then I broke it because it kept, every time I catch a bass, it was running, more out of whack, so I kept trying to bend it and keep it in shape, and then it ended up, I think I tried to squeeze that together too hard, and it ended up breaking. So then, the other one I pulled out, and I left enough of the pieces So these Guggen buzzbaits, man, you got to keep tinkering with them to get them to go, but they do actually get a good squeak going. So anyway, this one, I had to bend this up. It had a broken thing on here, so this piece was broken where it was kinked, so it wasn't letting it squeak. So I had to take this one off of the one that broke, put it on that one, and kink it just enough, but before I would, so it wouldn't split. But so I could try to get a squeak starting. And although it doesn't squeak like the other one did, we did manage a few more fish after that, but the bite was pretty much almost done. And then I need to change that color because for whatever reason, that Andy Morgan one compared to the Dirty Jigs half-ounce jig I had that had the Bluegill 2 skirt it came with, that one just did way better than this jig does. This jig I don't have any confidence in hardly. With the stock skirt, I switched out to this skirt. I'm going to try one more skirt on it, but I'm losing confidence in the Andy Morgan jigs. Like I said, I'm going pretty much my Croco Gator that I made into peanut butter and jelly. But I just kind of like throwing this jig around everywhere. You can drag it around. It just kind of works. Hookup ratio is good with it and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the bait of the day Sunday was the buzz baits. But man, I just can't even still recommend that you guys buy. I don't even know if I want to buy anymore. This is my last half-ounce bluegill colored one. So I'm going to try to either, if I can, cut that skirt off, try to put it on one of my chatterbaits just to see if it gets hit on the chatterbait. To see if it's something to do with that or just the fact that it's a buzz bait in kind of a neutral color. It's not white and it's not black. I'm not sure why they're hitting it as good as they are compared to the black. I've hardly had any luck on a white buzzbait this year. This one kind of might get one here or there, but man, it's almost like you can tell the difference when you're throwing that bluegill colored one over this, even though this one's kind of got a better squeak now than that last bluegill one we have is. So let's go to chatterbaits, mainly Screaming Thunder Crickets. So when I was trying my normal suspects, I tried the orange. The orange just it was working last week. This week the orange was not working. Wasn't working yesterday. So we did manage to get them to start going on our normal suspect, right? In pretty much any of the bluegill skirts on the Screaming Thunder Crickets, then with that Swim On in the Junebug candy color. Not magic. I was calling it magic there for the longest time, but it's actually Junebug candy is what they call it. So it did work, and we did catch some, but it wasn't real great. So then I was like, well, let's change it up. So I went to the extreme. I went very bright and very, like, as loud a thump as I could get. Never got hit. I did manage to catch one. That's our black and bluegill. Just a regular 5/8 ounce. And so I think I only caught one. I think I missed one on that dude. I think he still has too many strands of skirt material in him to be quite right, but we did manage one on him. So overall, I caught fish, but not enough to. I'm not even going to separate that video. It's probably going to be just one video of all the fish I caught yesterday. Probably be a half hour, maybe 40 minutes. Like it, I was feeling hot right at around 10 a.m. I was thinking, man, I should probably go, but I kept hoping it would cloud up more. It just never really did. There's clouds all over the sky. Like it looked like it just was so hot and muggy feeling, and then the sun was just out more than it was hidden. So it just felt kind of nasty. By noon, I was like, I'm done. I'm totally done. I got out on the water, I think at about 5:30, 5:45, and by noon, I'm like, I'm done. Game over. We're done. So I think, like I mentioned, I think I'm going to set out this weekend. If I do go, it'll be like a morning only kind of thing. I'll get up, get out on the water at 30, fish till probably 10. Just a 4-hour type deal, and then just get out of there, because all you end up doing is like sweating and getting more frustrated. And then the fish that do bite, they kind of hit weird, so you may not even keep them on, and you start doubting your equipment, whether you hooked them, what's going on kind of deal. We're just in that summertime funk now. So instead of frustrating myself more and more, we probably would just set out. So let's just unbox these, and then we'll talk about more about other stuff too. Oh, and we got to talk about a reel too. Don't let me forget. We got to talk about that 6-3-1 and whether I like that or not. You guys take your bets now whether I like it or not. So we got one package from AliExpress, 2 packages from AliExpress, and just a other deal from AliExpress that was loosely wrapped in that package. So there's the hooks that I've been kind of starting to talk about how I like. Lureholic. What do they call these? This is the 1/0 10-piece for worms coated with that. So that's what it is. And they're kind of like that silky gray from Owner, right? So these hooks, though, are very good. And you get 10 for like $1.65. They're good and they're very cheap. So I had gotten the 3/0 and a size 1. And the size 1 are a little too small. I'm hoping these 1/0, I don't know if I'm going to be okay with them. Where'd that deal go? Because actually after fishing with the baby brush hog, but I don't know, I think I might be better off, like some of the smaller baits and a baby brush hog, that 1/0 might be a little better. I don't know. I'll look at it once I get them out. But anyway, those are very good hooks. This will make the, I think I have three or four different sizes. Now I know I've got the size 1, now the 1/0 and the 3/0, and they also make, that's the exact one. They make some of the wacky hooks, and they may have a few other styles or sizes. So let's just open these up with our scissors, but we don't even really need to be scissors. We just need to puncture this package. So what did I get? Let's see. What else I got? Nothing else in there. Walkfish. I don't know what is in here. This should be, oh my goodness. I know there's a way to open these. Oh, they're each individually put in. So these are our underspins. I thought they came in like a already bundled up, but they're just all separate. These were pretty cheap too. I was trying to find a size like that. Oh, hang on, I'll get one of the baits. Yeah, so I guess I got three. I guess I got three of each. Three of the. I'll just open one. I got 3 silver blades and 3 gold blades. They all should be the same size. Looking for a small. I don't know if I like that. It's awful sharp edge there. Hang on. Where is my... There we go. So this would be for your, hopefully, do I have one that is not rigged up? For your little 275s or whatever. So by the time you rig it up, that still looks like it's too big. I guess it would work, but doesn't that look like too big a hook? And these all look like they're bent. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not. For these little dudes. The bigger ones, like the 3-inch, that's what that one is. They look like they're good for that, but once you get to that smaller, like what this little dude is, it would be rigged up there. It just almost, it's like it's too much hook for that little bait. And I think that's the smallest I can find on AliExpress. But I'll be honest, the little dinks will whack that in the bigger ones or whatever, but just to try to be that little art of finesse, super small as you can get kind of thing. These little bitty dudes are kind of the way to go. I guess you could leave it. I don't know. It looks like a lot of hook. I may try it. Not overly impressed, but I guess I'll give it a shot at some point. I got a mess here. I'm going to have to clean up. All right, final package. What did I get? Oh, I know what it is. I just showed you one of them. I got the bigger bundle of them. So, and I'm still not sure if I even like these or not. They do kind of work. They're very finessey, these little dudes right here. So I bought the smaller version, which they're definitely the right size for those little 275s. A bunch of them right down here. And they're fairly cheap, like $4 or $5 for all of those. So that's what this is. I just bought the bigger sizes, right? So get that bigger, heavier, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're marked right on the sides. 7 gram. And so like with that one, you could do, whether you're doing like a Largo shad, probably would be fine on there. Kind of a small hook. So you could still probably, I guess, well, no, it would be good for, if you just want to get down deeper. Even still with that 275 or 3-inch, either or, but then have that heavier weight for throwing it out, being down a little deeper. And with that crazy lip, it kind of will let it, give it some action, just slow reeling it back. So I'm probably just going to put those all in one deal. Little big, grab them basically on the weight. I guess I should show you. There is a difference in the, where'd that little one go? Where did he go? So you can tell there's a, significant size difference. But you could still put this little guy on this bigger one without much of an issue. I don't know how big a one you would want to put on this little hook, but the 275, even a 3, I don't know if you'd want to go any bigger than that. on that one because I don't know if I've got a bigger one than that. I think all these are roughly the same size that I've got already stored in the bottom. Here's a bigger one. Yeah, that dude's probably way too. Look how he's already got colored. That's probably a lot. Yeah, that's way too big. So all of these I would recommend. I can't remember how much bigger they go than this, but 3.5 inch swim bait's probably as big as I would want to go on those, and I wouldn't go probably over the 275s on these smaller ones, which are only 3.5 grams or 7 grams. So this is I think that's an eighth, and this is a quarter. Is basically what they equal out to. So anyway, that's it. Not too much to talk about the unboxings, but I'll get these hooks put up and these over here somewhere. I don't know if I still have it. I've got one. I've already got some of these, but somewhere I've got the smallest one I could track down, but I don't know where I got it from. I only have one of them left, and I'm pretty sure it was AliExpress, but I can't find them that small again. Because I would like a little bit smaller. And I think there's somebody, one of you guys was telling me even there, I forget the brand, but on Tackle Warehouse, you can get them a touch smaller, but man, they're a lot more expensive. And I don't really do a lot of the underspinning type stuff. I don't even do a lot of that swim baiting stuff. It's kind of like I go finesse, and I'm either usually right here is where my finesse is, that micro chatterbait with the little 3-inch swim bait, or I'm throwing bottom bouncing some sort of thing like a baby brush hog or a zinkers. But then I started to this season trying to go to those little swim bait type deals to also just a way to finesse, when you're trying to slow down and just get bit kind of thing. This one doesn't seem too bad. They're a little more expensive. That is pretty expensive, the dirty jigs, but it kind of works too. But kind of like on that same level of very finessey, the little willow vibe, or like I said, this dude right here. I haven't really put much time into these cord tackle deals yet. I really don't slow down that. I haven't had to technically. I usually get too worn out or hot before whether it's the baby brush hogs, throwing them on bottom, the jigs, slowing them down, some of the smaller cranks, or just kind of force feeding them the screaming thunder crickets, burning them into the grass kind of thing, and kind of forcing a bite. Does still generate, every so many minutes I'm still getting bit, so I haven't had to really resort to that, TRD, drop shot, all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, anyway, everywhere I've fished, I've still been able to at least generate bites. Maybe it's only one here and there, but that kind of deal. What's going on, Michael? Yama Tanuki was working for you yesterday. Yeah, I mean, what I was using was working, but man, it was just the bite was so slow. I was getting I was like, yeah, it wasn't. When you start getting hot and the bite slows down to a point where you're like, yeah, this isn't fun anymore. Plus, I was on, not big fish bites. Like I was like, it's been a while since I've felt like I've been able to get anything big to bite. And so that's why I started out like I keep in my head like throw a jig. Now what I totally spaced off that I'm gonna do the next time I do go out. Let me show you this. Now I didn't space these off, but what I have been spacing off completely are the true, downsizing of the jigs, which if you guys remember, I just got these from AliExpress, and we got on a good bite with the white one, wherever it is. or not on a good bite, but like something like this, or go even smaller, or rig on. If you remember right there, for a while I was through the little TRD bugs thing on this one, got bit, so I kind of started using these, but I totally spaced off a couple of them. I do still have these that sometimes kick in and work, the actual true like Ned jig deals, but then these little dudes. So they're heavier, but that is a very little bait. And I totally spaced these. I've had them out. I've looked at them. Every time I go out on the water, it's not till I get home that I'm like, why didn't I rig that up and put a little, either the TRD bugs or the craw. I've got both in several different colors, and throw those around. So the next time I go out, these are on my list to get. I'll probably take. They're the same exact thing. I'll probably rig one up with the certain color bugs and one with the craw, and just throw them around probably right off the bat. When the first jigs I throw will be these little micro type, but heavier, so they get down and bouncing them around some of them spots. They don't have real great. They're more of a not really, you don't want to throw these into brush piles, but just throw them out. You throw them along the edge where there's some cover, and then work them, like you would a football deal, just kind of drag them, or even in open areas or whatever. So I do need to get them out there and get them. I'll probably throw them with the 802 or maybe the 803. Along with these, I need to rig up a couple of those little guys because they're basically the same thing, except this has a very good hook. Like the hooks, if you guys, this definitely looks and is, it's going to have a bigger profile out in the water just with all this stuff's going on. But those hooks are like night and day difference. This is a very little lighter wire finesse hook. That's pretty much still a stout hook. So you throw that around with the Super Destroyer, and then these with something a little bit lighter. You don't want to throw those with the Super Destroyer. Probably throw them with the blade, jacking around. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to go a little more. I've kept trying to throw these bigger jigs, right? Let's get a big fish. Let's go. But a lot of times you throw that littler jig, it'll get on to generate more bites, but then the big one can still hit it. So I'm going to, when I do get back out there before when the heat's still on kind of deal, I'm going to kind of go away from these bigger jigs but also, here, let me show you. Because, let's just go through that real quick now. So I've got these little dudes over here too. I got all of these finesse jigs. I've even got this little dude right here in a few different colors. The Denny Brower baby structure jig or whatever it's called. I got these Z-Man I've got them all. I don't know why. Let's move that one out of the way. So I got like that kind of finesse-y. What else? That's probably all you need. And somewhere, I don't know where did I put them. Oh, we've got all of these. Let me move this. Well, never mind. Anyway, I've got all of these little bitsy bugs and that kind of stuff too, and a whole other deal. So I got all these little finesse ones that I've kind of just been avoiding because I can get out there. And we do generate a few bites with the bigger, but so far it hasn't generated. For the lack of bites it does generate, they're not big bites anyway, technically. Like we haven't, gone out and went, big ones on these, bigger jigs. So I need to throw some of them littler jigs. Try that the next time I go out. Screaming thunder crickets are getting chewed up. The battle rages on. And we've got one soldier. This is the third one I made. He's still in very good shape. The two OGs. This is the OG. And he's still doing pretty good. That number 2 has got a beating. He's lost an eye. And yeah. Still working, but man, we've beat him up. In no more time than I fished the Made the Screaming Thunder Cricket and fished it in what, just over a month or so now, and those two have taken a beating. We haven't, cross your fingers, lost any, knock on wood. We've not lost a Screaming Thunder Cricket yet. We did lose that fire tail, I call it peanut butter and jelly, I don't know whatever color it was, from Headhunter. It's like the bigger size one. They're like a wiggle wart. We did lose that dude. All right, so I'm going to get out of here. I probably had to go on Chipotle's website and complain about their stuff. I think I'm going to cut these down a little more. I like this color, but the Kamikaze crawl compared to the Kamikaze swim on, like it doesn't translate as far as like, oh yeah, it's going to get bit for sure when you throw it kind of deal. And the orange one is almost non-existent on getting hit. So they make but they don't make it in this color. They make that oh shoot, I forget what it's called now. It's not called a craw. I don't remember. They make one that actually is sort of more for jigs, but it's got claws, something like this, and it's called something weird and outrageous. The name is escaping me right now. It's actually one of the professional fishermen's name and his fighting something, I don't know, but it's got more of this kind of look, but they don't make it in the June bug candy. And the June bug candy is basically, but it also has some purple fleck in it. And I'm not sure if that June bug color is maybe a little lighter. Almost looks like this is even lighter than this one, the way it was poured. But like from the June bug compared to, it's very close to the Zoom June bug, but these colors are still kind of there, but they were a little bit off yesterday. Everything was off. I think it's just the heat. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. A lot more coming up. We're not going to that Chipotle. I don't know if I'm going to that Chipotle. I don't need to go to Chipotle's anyway. What I should do is go get the maple bourbon salads from Walmart. They're only like $4. Put that sucker in a big bowl, stir it all up, put all the ingredients it comes with. You know, they're like not pre-made, but they're all packaged, ready to go. Mix it all up. Pretty good salads, and definitely won't gain weight eating those compared to a Chipotle burrito. So if you got any questions, drop them down in the comments after this video ends. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So one more thing. If you guys remember right, we picked up this reel, and I had high hopes that I could talk myself into liking the 6-3-1. Well, no, I don't. It's just I feel I just need more speed. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this reel yet. Tempted to just order from AliExpress for $125, but I think they want $14 shipping. Getting the black, the one that's not SV, and then I'll just take the spool out, put in the black one, because I can put the black one on, probably put it on the Super Destroyer, take the one that was right originally on this one, put it right back on it, and then just sell this one with the different spool. You know, don't try to cheat anybody. Tell them it's not SV and doesn't have the boost, but maybe sell it for like $100. And then I would have, you know, switch the drag clicker and all that stuff onto the black one. And then I would have one of the black ones and try the black one, see if I like how it looks and feels and works on the either the Super Destroyer or the Poison Adrenaline is one I'm actually thinking about putting one of these black Tatulas on. I'm kind of just holding my breath that they will take this one and come out with like an elite version that's a darker gray or almost black for like a few of my other reels, because this one only looks good on a few, like the color, if your reel is, or sorry, if your rod is darker or black, I don't think this looks quite as good because it's gray, but it almost has a bluish hue to it. Well, not quite, but it definitely got a grayish look to it. And so, although with the cork and all this, I think it looks pretty good on the P5s that have the cork, especially if you had, get off there, you had cork knobs and that kind of stuff. But on the, where's it at? On the Super Destroyer, I can't make myself like it as well. It just has a, I think it looks excellent on the blade, but I guess it's not bad. And I probably just need to take that brighter gold off since I already have this darker type gold and just put maybe the stock one or not. But I think it would look better with the black one since everything's just darker and we've got darker knobs on it. But that, in my opinion, although it doesn't look bad, doesn't look as good as like it does on this one. And the rods themselves are the exact same color except for the black on the carbon or just the wood grain kind of thing of the cork. So yeah, I know. I feel the need for speed. Or what about watch the movie Need for Speed or Top Gun Maverick? We went to the movies. Did I tell you guys that? That's why I didn't do a Fireball Friday night. And the 28 years later, they should have waited another 28 years. That movie, I don't know what to think of that. The 28 days later, it wasn't bad. It was kind of okay, you know, back in the day. And actually, the 28 weeks later was my favorite of the bunch. Because that one, it's not a bad movie. This new one, although not horrible, I wish I would have just waited for it to come out on video because we went to the movies and watched it, and I'm like, really? That's the ending? Okay. Shouldn't have wasted my money on this one, but anyway, I do like zombie movies. I wish they would add, I kind of like the idea of World War Z. If you guys haven't seen that with Brad Pitt, but I don't know. I just don't think, I think they've lost their way with zombie movies. I love The Walking Dead, but yes, you probably need something that's just more of a, comes creeping and like, it's like, really? Those wiped out humanity? Like, those zombies did? How? They don't go fast enough to do anything. But then the other ones, they go so far. Just, you have to trust me, 28 years later, when they start talking alpha, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I could see where, just like World War Z or this one, the infected, it takes place so fast that it spreads and it just like it's, we're done. We're toast. So yeah, I'm done talking about all that. We ate. Did I tell you where I ate? I didn't go to Chipotle. I ended up going to Popeyes, and I got the sweet and spicy 12 piece. So it's 12 for 12. I got 6 of them bone in, 6 bone out, and they forgot my ranch. But oh boy, anyway, I had ranch here, and yeah. It was about roughly the same price of what Chipotle ends up being, and I had 12 pieces of actual chicken and ate it. And that sweet and spicy is good. It's almost too hot, but not quite. It's very, I like that. It's my favorite. It's right in the middle of their little heat chart they got. Popeye's chicken. I like their red beans and rice, but if I'm going to get, I probably need to start doing that. Just get a 6-piece and then the red beans and rice and call it a day. But I usually just get 12 pieces of chicken, no fries, no nothing else, and that's all I eat. And it's like $12.50 or whatever. And I just come home, I always have pop and Fireball. Sometimes Fireball. Today we have Fireball because I stopped at Quick Trip and bought the little 10-pack of the little bottles. So I'd have some for this Friday. Fridays, I'm gonna try to do a Fireball Friday night for sure. So be looking forward to that. And so, but I had to test them out in my drink I'd gotten from Quick Trip. And yeah, they're working. They're fine. They're good to go. No duds in that Fireball pack so far. All right, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. A lot more coming.